everyone, it's Lori with a process video for the Spiegelmoms Scraps Design Team. Remember, you can use Lorimar 15 to get 15% off your next Spiegelmom Scraps um, order. Now, this layout, I was inspired by these papers, and if I'm honest, I really wanted to use all of them in one layout. But I sort of settled on using 5 different patterned papers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut roughly um, I cut 4 strips of 2.5 by 12 strips of patterned paper. I saw that gray paper with the clouds, and I was like, I wanted to use this too, but I couldn't make it work in a way. So after I cut down my strips to measure 2.5 by 12, I cut a fourth off one of the sides just so that I had a little border on either side of my strips of patterned paper. And the sequin packets that I'm going to be using is Touch of Sun and Crushing It. Actually, I switched them out. I used Toes in the Sand and Crushing It. And here's what I do. For the green paper, which is the one that's less busy, it's not as busy a patterned paper as the others, I add a strip of glue to the upper corner, not upper corner, upper border, and just start gluing down my sequins. So I used the sequins from Crushing It on the green paper, and then the sort of like corally orange um, sequins from Touch of Sun, Toes in the Sand, on that coral paper. So I'm using my sequins to create sort of like strips of sequins along my patterned paper. Now the other 2 patterned papers, I just distressed them with my distress tool, just so that each of the patterned paper has a bit of interest on them. Now I'm gluing down my papers, well, not gluing down, but adhering them. And then I'm going to be documenting 3 pictures, which measure roughly 3.5 by 3.5 each. One of them has been matted on a bit of patterned paper. The others already had a white border around them, so I just left them as is. The center picture is popped up on some craft foam. The others are not. And then I had this acrylic shape that says sunshine, so that's going to be part of my title. So I really wanted to place it there, so that's where I'm going to be keeping it. And then I used stickers to make the word splendid. So it's going to be Splendid Sunshine. And I can't for the life of me remember why that title is so familiar, Splendid Sunshine. I don't know. It's like I've heard it before, but I don't know where or when. So anywho, I took a break. I already have my title done, and then I just pulled out some embellishments from my homemade kit. And now I'm just trying to place them to see where they would work. Since I don't want to cover up my sequins that much, I try and arrange my my embellishments so that they don't cover up my sequins. But if you notice to the left side of the pictures, most of the pink sequins are covered up. But doesn't really bother me. So yeah, I do add the butterflies from the Toes in the Sand sequin packet as well. Sort of like little tiny embellishment pieces. I used this oval ephemera piece, and I just write the date and a bit of journaling Um, I'm trying to, as I'm making my layout, I'm trying to write down my journaling, um, just to give you guys an idea of where would I place my journaling. Um, I've seen process videos from other people I follow on YouTube, and half the time that I watch their process video, it's like, where are they gonna add the journaling? Um, so I figured, hey, if I wonder, maybe there are other people who need help with the same thing. So I'm trying to do that as much as I can. And then I just start sticking down embellishments. Some embellishments have been popped up on some craft foam to create dimension in my layout. And the way that I go about is I try and focus on finishing up each cluster before moving on to the next cluster. I remember like a couple of months ago, it'd be like, I'm going to glue this here, I'm going to glue this over here. And then it just turned out to be that for me, I would have to rip up some of the things that I already glued down because I needed to rearrange them in a different way. So that's why I'm trying to I'm trying to stick with the fact of trying to add, like finish off an embellishment cluster before moving on to the next one. And I'm almost done with this layout. I'm just adding the last final details to this cluster over at the bottom. And then I just grab Nuvo drops in green and blue and add a couple of drops here and there. And then I pull out Pink Caviar, which is by Shimmers, and then splatter it all over my layout just to bring in that little pop of pink that I have throughout my layout. And here are the close-ups. I really hope I've inspired you to use sequins in sort of like making a border. And if you have sequin packets that have little icons, to use those up as little embellishment pieces. And remember, guys, I'll see you back soon with another process video. Thank you so much for sticking around.